The non-conforming heart. That's you, Aquarius Moon. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Mina. I like to talk about astrology with you. If that's something you like and you're new here, smash subscribe for good luck so you can stay connected with me and you will be informed when I release my weekly videos. Today we're going to be talking about Aquarius Moon, and I decided to do this outside. I'm even standing up. I just wanted to shake things up a bit, which is very fitting for Aquarius Moon. So let's first talk about what does a moon mean in our birth chart. Well, our moon is our emotional muscle. It's really this thing that gets us through every day. It's our non-negotiable emotional needs that have to be met for us to go out into the world and be successful. And if we go out into the world taking care of our moon, it becomes a strong muscle for us internally, and it lifts our visible parts of our chart up, like our sun, our midheaven, our rising sign, all that important stuff that goes and gets our dreams. And dreams are very fitting here, talking about Aquarius Moon. So we will get into the nurturing styles of Aquarius Moon and end off on self-care tips for Aquarius Moon, which is so important for us all to take care of that heart. Alright you guys, let's briefly touch on Aquarius Moon basics. Well, it is a very complicated emotional center. I dare say almost the most misunderstood heart in the zodiac because of the planetary rulers involved. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. Very confusing. So think about, Aquarius does have a lot in common with Capricorn Moon because they do share that ruler, Saturn. Saturn is about traditions, time, responsibilities, maturity. It really is the key to growing up. The glyph even looks like a key. It is a very serious and severe planet. Traditionally, it rules death. So everything serious, not fun, about discipline, getting stuff done in that real world way. Very mature planet, Saturn. So there is a lot of overlap with Aquarius Moon and Capricorn Moon as an emotional center. What changes the game here is that modernly Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is like a little bomb. If you look at the glyph, it looks like a bomb. It is a planet of innovation. It likes to shake things up. It wants to take an old structure, blow it up, and make it more functional, more futuristic for society. It's a forward-thinking planet. It is really the most alien of all the alien planets, indeed. Very innovative, very unique. Uranus even spins on its side. It's the only planet that spins on its side, and it has diamond rain. I'll never forget that. It's just a very electrifying, rebellious planet here. So imagine the most serious of planets. So very conflicting energies at play here. The most mature of planets, Saturn, the grandpa, the one that wants to do things the hardest way, the most disciplined way, the most mature way, meeting Uranus, however you want to say it, the cool guy on the motorcycle, just going wherever the wind takes him. The rebel meets grandpa. That is a very confusing set of presidents, rulers, leaders to be over your heart, your emotional center. So these people can feel like a push and pull between wanting to be kind of traditionally serious, mature emotionally, zipped up in that Capricorn Moon way, but then also have this deep need to feel outside of the box, to shake things up, to reinvent themselves emotionally periodically. And maybe they'll go back to their traditions and then shake it up again. It's very, very confusing for these people and for other people to interpret as well. It's also fixed air, and fixed air is very special because it's the, Aquarius is the sign of all the air signs that can really hold on to ideas. They don't fly away as easily because they're fixed in nature. They're staying there, they're staying put, and they're meant to be used as building blocks, like thoughts that actually create something, that because they don't fly away, they can use them to build stuff for the future in their hearts. So very, very important here. Aquarius is fixed air, ruled by the water bearer, likes to bring forth new, inventive, serious ideas to large amounts of people. And that's really what Aquarius Moon people want to do with their hearts. They want to share their hearts with a big group of people, and they want it to have a positive effect. They want it to be something that goes into the future that has a practical use, like Saturn. So bringing those two planets together, they have a deep need to have unique feelings. And this is one of those moon signs where you can't predict. Like, I can try to tell you what I've studied, what I've observed, but every single Aquarius moon is going to be extremely different from one another, because that is what this moon placement aims for. They don't want to be just like every other Aquarius moon. They want to be themselves. So a lot of this video, even though it's a pure energy reading, maybe some Aquarius moons won't connect to it, but that's because they are an Aquarius moon, so it's almost confirmation, you guys. So keep that in mind going through this video. So let's touch on the houses. If you have an Aquarius moon in the 11th house, that is a pretty lucky placement. You really do have a deep need to have a big influence, maybe online, just with a big net of people. You want to cast your net wide, and you want to find all those weirdos, those different people just like you. And not that you want them to think just like you, you just want a safe set of friends, because the 11th house is the house of friends and networking. You want a safe set of friends that you can rely on and that you can have uninhibited conversations with from that unique heart of yours. At times in your quest for this network, you could actually go against yourself, Aquarius moon in the 11th house, because you might be a little too Uranus at times, a little too out there. Will throw people off a little bit. So definitely keep that balance in mind. You want to be relatable in that air, that Libra way, to draw those people in, and then to slowly reveal the uniqueness so they can stay around, give you that chance that you need, because you really do deeply need those friend connections. Let's talk about the mother. If you have an Aquarius moon, you probably had a very unique mother that was just known for not fitting the typical mom role. Maybe she dressed different. Maybe she just had something unique about her. And this unique thing could just be unique to the town you lived in. It might not be a universal unique thing. Think about your microenvironment. Something stood out about her, and she might have even forced uniqueness on you. Maybe you felt like you didn't have a chance to form your own unique identity, so you might find yourself rebelling against her uniqueness and going the opposite way. If she's really non-traditional, you might want to be really traditional, and if she's really traditional, that might make you want to be really non-traditional. Or you could have just admired her sense of expression, her freedom in that way, and maybe you wanted to be like her. You could have also felt that she put her friends first sometimes before you, and that maybe sometimes she was a little bit cold emotionally because she wanted you to have that extreme amount of freedom to figure your own self out. You could have found freedom in this and love, and you also could have found this kind of sad and isolating, detached. But you know, she also could have been really smart and inventive, futuristic for her time. But let me know in the comments. I don't like to completely assume about people's parents. Let me mention again here, Aquarius moon is much like Capricorn moon and is very zipped up emotionally. They really do have that Saturn style emotive suppression going on. But like I said, because this moon, this emotional center, is so unique, it is possible that there is some more emotional Aquarius moon people, because the Uranus factor, the Uranus really can break up the Saturn. And that's why there's, out of any other sign, you guys, Aquarians have the most variety within them because of these planetary rulers. So you can have some Capricorn style repressed emotionally Aquarius moons. Then you could have some super loving, like give you hugs all the time Aquarius moons. It just depends, which is why these people are fascinating. They are so unique from one another. All right, you guys, let's get into how to nurture an Aquarius moon. A very interesting topic because it's kind of hard to answer. Number one, if you want to nurture Aquarius moon, make them feel unique. Add to their uniqueness, because the more emotionally distinct they feel from other people, the happier they are. So be someone that kind of just adds to that emotional vibe that they have going on. Also, don't expect anything out of them. Okay, they are kind of interesting. Like, they belong to everyone and they belong to no one at the same time. They are the universe's friend and they're their only friend at the same time. They're no one's friend. They're very interesting people. Because of the Saturn-Uranus dynamic, like, okay, Capricorn moon, you could tell them, hey, I rely on you and you're awesome. And that might even give them like a Capricorn boner a little bit. But like with Aquarius moon, if you like put too much pressure, obligations, demands on them, it's almost like they might run away from that, because they are kind of freedom heavy, almost like Sagittarius. They need that emotional freedom, because if they're not free, they can't be unique. And it's almost like they can have that Saturn style responsibility about them, but it's better left unsaid. They just kind of want people to count on them silently instead of slamming expectations on them, and they will feel very nurtured if you don't put all those demands on them. So maybe try it out. Really, oddly enough, an Aquarius Moon individual kind of needs someone really emotionally observant and intuitive, because like, they don't want you to verbally tell them how they are unless they directly tell you that it's okay. They kind of need someone to study their patterns, like their behavioral shifts between Saturn and Uranus style behavior, predicting the weather a little bit, so they can kind of predict what's going to happen with them and not really put pressure on them, not put labels on them. If you want to nurture an Aquarius Moon, do not label them. Let them be free. They kind of need that freedom to not feel like they're any particular thing, because they like to take ownership over their emotional identity. So if you say, oh, you're so emo, or oh, you're so cold, that's kind of putting a label on them, and they're not gonna like that at all. They're gonna feel very unloved unless they directly tell you like, hey, you can call me emo. Like, in that case, fine, because they're an air sign. Air signs are all about communication, and this is a communicative heart here because it's air. But you really have to let them be the boss on how they're perceived if you want to be in their close circle, because they don't want to feel suffocated in that way. Don't force an Aquarius Moon into any particular way of feeling or thinking, because they're going to run away from you, and they're not going to want to be close with you because they're going to feel suffocated. Always leave them with feeling that like they have a choice, because if they don't have choices, then they almost feel like they can't be unique, because if you're going to be different and unique, you have to have a choice, and if you don't give them a choice, they're going to take a choice anyway. So might as well give them a choice, you guys. This is an air moon, so make sure if you want to nurture an Aquarius Moon, listen to them when they talk and be engaged in the conversation. Add something interesting. They always have something interesting to share, so if you can also answer with something interesting, or if you can add to what they have to say, like give them a new unique perspective on whatever they're sharing with you, they will feel very loved by you and energized in that air type of way. Compliment them on what makes them different. Like, they might act like they don't like it because they might be a little bit Saturny, and then the Uranus part might be a little bit too cool, but inside they're smiling, you guys. Compliment them on what makes them unique. No matter what reaction they give you, don't expect a particular reaction, because Aquarius Moon could be anything and nothing and everything in between all at once. Be up for the surprises with this emotional center. Be a good, reliable, and stable friend for an Aquarius Moon. This is something so important to them, because they do value reliability in that earthly Saturn way, even though they're an air sign. And even if they can't give it back to you, because they do have that Uranus component that makes them unpredictable, but it doesn't mean that they don't value stable friendships. If you're a stable friend to them, they'll always come back, even if they have to take breaks, take time away. They will always come back for you, and in that unspoken way, they will show up for you Saturn style. Support them belonging to no one and everyone all at the same time. Realize that they might have many different groups of friends that conflict with one another, and that doesn't mean that they love you any less. If you support this type of lifestyle and give them this social freedom, they will feel very loved by you. Alright guys, let's get into how does Aquarius Moon nurture others. This is a Saturn-ruled emotional center, so if they're spending time with you, that's loving you, you guys. They love spending time with their friends and lovers alike, family, just anyone that they consider close, good people, their tribe. They're going to give you that Saturn-style, reliable time spent with them. That's their love language. An Aquarius Moon in that air style is going to tell you why they like you if they care about you. That's how they nurture others. They're going to tell you why they think you're unique, because they usually don't like regular people. So if they're complimenting you on what makes you different and distinct from other people, then that's them loving you. Another cool component about them, they will like you when no one else does. Like, the more people who are against you and don't like you, that's just going to be more incentive for them to try to get to know you, because they really are the world's friend. And if you're the world's friend, you don't really X anyone out. And even if they have people they don't talk to, they like to be the absolute boss over that. They don't want to be told who to be friends with, who not to be friends with, who to avoid, who to go close to. They want to be in charge with that. So even when you feel like everyone's turning their back on you, for like social reasons or like something taboo, they're gonna stay by your side. If they value you, they're not going to care what society says. And that's really special about them. Aquarius Moon people, when they love others and when they love objects even, they love them for their uniqueness, their special qualities. And that's what has value to an Aquarius Moon person, is if something's distinct from another typical thing. So they will love you for your unique qualities, and that uniqueness is what's going to bond you to their heart, and you're going to be like a unique treasure in their treasure chest. They will also nurture you by giving their very unique advice, because they have that practical advice to give you, Saturn style, like mature traditional advice, but they can also give you very innovative futuristic advice from Uranus. So they can kind of meld these two roles and give you very unique perspectives to think about, which is their love language. They know that's special about them, and they don't always waste that just on anyone, because we're not talking about the sun sign here. We're talking about the very private and more selective moon sign. So that is definitely Aquarius Moon love, if they're sharing that unique vantage point with you that only they have. And because they are ruled by Saturn, but also Uranus, so it's kind of tricky here, you guys. They will do the Saturn style love for you. They will show up for you in that responsible, not fun way, traditional way. They will give you that practical love that a Capricorn moon can. They kind of need people to trust them, that they'll show up in that Saturn way without asking them, which I know is weird. They're an air sign. You're thinking, why not just ask? Trust me, guys, it's complicated here. But I know for every Aquarius moon that's like this, there's probably millions that are different. Maybe you can ask an Aquarius moon directly for that Saturn style, serious, practical earth help. You kind of have to feel it out, which goes back to my earlier point that they really do need people to observe them, much like a storm watcher, like a weatherman. They have to get people that observe quietly their emotional patterns, so they can kind of gauge these type of things, how Saturn is a person, how Uranus is a person, you know, when do these planets pop up. It all depends on that. But at the end of the day, if they love you, they'll do that Grandpa Saturn stuff for you. They'll take on that responsibility even if their Uranus part doesn't like it, which is pretty awesome and special about them. And you know, they will maybe even spend money on you because they are Saturn ruled too. It really just depends, you guys. These Aquarius Moon individuals have their own unique set of emotional principles that they live by, and because Saturn's there and Uranus is kind of stubborn too, they're very set on those values and they don't really budge from them. Gotta learn the values somehow. Alright, you guys, how can Aquarius Moon nurture itself? This is a very important part of the video. Number one, you guys are so emotionally different and unique, just so special in this way. Do something with that uniqueness. Don't just let it sit there. It's beautiful on its own for sure, because the way you love people is very innovative and futuristic. But why not put that into art, put that into writing a book, put that innovation out into the world? Because I know that every Aquarius Moon deep down wants to have some type of reach socially, because you are the last air sign. You want to have a big social reach. So share that innovative heart. Not everyone has a heart ruled by Saturn and Uranus. That's so unique. Imagine the quirky, innovative magic you can make happen in music, just anything, art, or just practically anything. I think you could shake up and reinvent anything with those amazing feelings of yours. So share it with the world and give that practicality to your feelings like Saturn would want you to. You might even make some money off of it, and you'll make new friends. Uranus and Saturn will be happy. You guys realize that people are often going to be confused by you because you are ruled by Saturn and Uranus. It's very confusing. So if someone's misinterpreting you, which I know that's probably horrible for an Aquarius Moon, because you want to be clearly understood as an air sign, and you want your thoughts and feelings to be recognized for what they are, because you spend so much time curating them. You want them to be unique and special. So if someone's not getting that, that can be upsetting. But realize that you guys are a kind of tough emotional center to understand for all those reasons. So give your loved ones patience and maybe use some of that air. Try to break down your complex, unique feelings better in a more universal, maybe even Libra way, so people can have the opportunity to understand your unique feelings. Like, what's the point if they're so innovative and unique if no one can connect to them? Because you guys deserve to be understood because you're so special. So don't X that out. And if you have to journal, like to really chronicle your moods, because, you know, like I said, Saturn, Uranus are battling out in your heart, you might want to just journal like how you're feeling every day, just to gauge like what's going on between those two planets, like what's going on with your moods, because this can be kind of a moody emotional center. And also, you guys, a big self-care tip for Aquarius Moon is never stop working on your uniqueness, because that's like your inner light. This is your heart here. And even though it's not the sun sign, which is way more showy, that's still like your core emotional center. Never stop curating what's so unique about you, because the moment you stop that, you stop your Aquarius alien princess prince magic here, and the world needs it. It would be so boring without you guys. Lastly, guys, use your alone time wisely to recharge, because you guys have so much emotional energy here. Because although you could be calm, cool, and collected like Saturn, you can also be really shaken up like Uranus. So give that heart a rest. Use your alone time wisely, you guys. It's okay to chill out a little bit. If you need to take like a break from socializing, maybe socialize online a little bit lightly. Do whatever you have to do to center your mental energies. Spend time on your talents. Anything that really recharges that awesome electric heart of yours, because you are just such a special heart, Aquarius Moon. You really are some of the best friends out there. Amazing artists. You're just a unique people, and you deserve to be recharged so you can keep that glow within going and going and going. You guys, I hope you loved this video. Let me know what you think. God, it's getting so dark. Let me know what you think in the comments as usual, and I will see you in my next compatibility video. Bye!